about this because oh, am I not spelling that right? Is it with an I? Let's have 1 second. 1 second. Where's it? I must have closed that article. Where is it here? Here it is. Here. This is the one I was looking for. I'm not spelling his name correctly, am I? There we go. It's with a K and a 1. There we go. 2 million followers. Absolute studs. Nothing tops being #1, baby. And he said, "Holy effing SHIT. We won the whole tournament. Actually almost cried. The boys earned that. Watching our team win is the best moment I've ever had streaming." And actually, some of the players, I'm sort of still updating my article, to be honest, as it's sort of been breaking this news as they've just won. Let's see if they've retweeted some of the players. No, they haven't retweeted some of the players, but I do have some of the players in here. Let's see what they've said. Joyo, young player, I think he's like 16 or so, UK player. Oh my effing god. And Rise, another UK player, said major champions, I can't believe it, I love you all. And I think Vatira as well. Has Vatira said anything? Let's have a look what they've all said. These comments have only just been coming in. Major champions, let's effing go, baby. So yeah, very similar. I think Noah, I can't remember what Noah's, I can't remember what his handle is now, but I'll have a look in my article because I've got a few other tweets in here. It was a great final, by the way. I don't know if anyone was watching it. Odie, oh hi Odie, you watched it. Yeah, I was going to say, did anyone else watch it? What did you think? I enjoyed it, actually. I thought the first part of the final, before the bracket reset, was pretty close. I know Moist come out the gates pretty well. They won 3 games, didn't they, in a row. And then Falcons came back into it. But the after the bracket reset, Moist, what incredible! They were relentless, weren't they? You know, it was domination there. Four wins in a row, and I've got a few bits and pieces here. Some of the quotes after the match. And the coach Noah said, "We had a game plan, and we always win Game 7. So what can I say?" That was in response to asking about the bracket reset. Rise said they dominated the second series. Thank you to the fans, you drove us to win. It's honestly insane to play in an arena like this in front of that many people and win. It was fantastic to watch. Amazing. Yeah, I wish I was there, actually. I do wish I was there. Good UK crowd made it, to be honest. Yeah, I agree, Odie. When you say you watched it, were you actually there, Odie, at the Copper Box Arena, or were you at home? Because, like I said, I couldn't make it this weekend, but I'm hoping to go to other lands and things in the future. The thing I liked about this as well is, it was an emotional interview. I'll play this. I don't know if you've seen it, but I'll play it here. Joyo, who had tears in his eyes after the win as the crowd chanted MVP, added, "I'll never forget it. My mum and dad have been so supported. I love you so much, and thank you for supporting me this entire time. It's unbelievable." And his mum was there as well. Cameron Johns says here, 4 years ago, this woman took her son to see a Rocket League World Championship and let her kid dare to dream. Today, he became a major champion in front of over 6,000 people at the exact same place. This is Esports at Joyo. And I've put as well, Odie, of course, it was the latest Rocket League major in London, some 4 years after Dignitas won the Rocket League World Championship in London at the same venue back in 2018. Were you still with Dig at this time, Odie? I think you were, weren't you? Or am I wrong there? I could be wrong. June 2018. Wow, 4 years. Where on earth has the time gone? I can't believe it's been 4 years since that last major. Oh, you watched it on Twitch. Yeah, same here. I had it on the TV for a bit on YouTube, on the app. I'll play this clip here from Joyo.
like I was saying, Joyo. We've talked about teammates, we've talked about friends, but I want to talk about family, because you seem to have the most supportive mother in the world. She's right in front of you. What does it mean to share this moment with teammates, friends, and family right in front of you?
I'll never forget it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, my mum's been so supportive, so is my dad, he's at home. It's just unbelievable.
Now, there were a few more quotes afterwards, and actually, I like that the Moist players joined the desk afterwards. That was pretty cool. I like it when esports broadcasts do that, and Joyo's mum joined the desk as well, and I did quote her here. What did she say here? She said, "They've all deserved it for so long. Joyo's the best player in the world, and to see him come to this event and win it is the best day of my life." I mean, they're so young, aren't they? Joyo is, I think, 16. It's crazy to think he's only 10, 11 years older than my son. It's like I joked at the dinner table. I was like, "We'll get you practicing, Francis. We'll get you practicing Rocket League." Right? My wife wasn't convinced, but yeah. Oh yeah, Odie, I saw your comment when I started playing that clip. That's why we won. Of course, I was at Dignitas. Yeah, 100%. Yes, good stuff. I don't know. A Rogue in Rocket League? I think Rogue are, aren't they? Or am I wrong there? Be good to see you guys doing well in Rocket League. Let's have a look here at the teams who were here. I mean, I will say it's a real shame about Endpoint, you know, because we did have some other UK talent here as well. We've got Nolly at Carmine Corp. Carmine made it to the lower quarterfinals. Made it to the lower semi-finals where Moist Esports beat them, which isn't a bad run. And Endpoint, sadly, it's disappointing. They didn't do that well at all. They lost 3-0 in the upper against version 1, and then they lost 3-0 to Optic Gaming. So a land to forget for Endpoint. Sorry, boys. Unfortunately, it's not nice to see, but not what you wanted really there. I mean, it was amazing, really, as well. If you look at Moist, they lost their upper bracket, didn't they? They lost that pretty convincingly here. Where was it here? Was it 3-1 to... yeah, there we go. So version 1 beat Endpoint, and then they beat Moist. So Moist beat Optic 3-0, and then they lost 3-1 to version 1. But then they got revenge on version 1 in the lower bracket final, 4-0. You know, Moist really turning up the heat towards the latter stages of the tournament. 4-1 against KC, 4-0 against version 1, and then 4-3, 4-0 against Team Falcons. They're ones to watch, and you know, the fact that they're so young, I know I keep saying it, it just amazes me, you know, that I'm sure they've got a bright future ahead. Can they stay there though, you know, because we've seen a lot of good Rocket League talent over the years, Scrub Killer, players like that, who haven't, in my opinion, you know, been that consistent with their victories. Let's see now if Moist can carry on. Is it going to be their year? Can they do it on the in the World Championship as well? We'll see. Odie said, and all off to Saudi next week for Gamers 8. Oh, yes. Oh, we didn't qualify. Okay. Yeah, to be honest, they didn't get a good draw. Version 1 are Minnesota Vikings ownership and Rocker. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're educating me here, Odie, because I'm not super knowledgeable when it comes to Rocket League. But when it comes to UK Rocket League, I'll say I am, because I do follow the players and the coaches and the teams and so on. So yeah, really good stuff. I mean, I could have another look around Twitter for a bit before I move on to some other news and bits and pieces. I'll probably keep it a pretty brief stream tonight, to be honest. Rocket League Esports account tweeted, Worlds in a month. Jake Lucky tweeting, Rocket League was the #1 esport in the world this weekend. Beautiful. Yeah, and the viewer numbers were good, weren't they? I think when I was watching it, we were up to, was it like 130k at some point on Twitch? That's pretty damn good. That's more than the LEC had this weekend that I saw. I think LEC on Twitch was 80 or 90. I know LEC probably have more, right, because they have the Riot, they have all these different channels and blah, blah, blah. But, yeah, very good to see. You'd expect good numbers at a major, though, as well, right? And Rocket League, it is a really popular esport now. It's great to see. Joyo as well. Was named MVP, most valuable player, and then I wasn't super sure of this here. So Vatira, also on Moist, was named defensive MVP, and Ahmad for Falcons was named offensive MVP. Right, so you have defensive, offensive, and you have overall MVP. So Joyo, up there as one of these UK champions now, has won a couple of tournaments and bits and pieces. He's still very young. I think he's got quite an iconic look to him with his hair and everything. So yes, more champions, please, from the UK. And we've historically had some good talent, right, from the UK in Rocket League. So long may that continue. For whatever reason, I mean, it's football with cars. It's not really like real football, is it? Is it? I wonder what do people think? What do you think, Odie? Do you think that's something to do with it, that we have the football culture in the UK? Because I'm not sure. I don't know how big football fans these players are, to be honest. We just seem to produce decent Rocket League talent from the UK. Right, okay, I'll jump in. I'll tell you what, let's have a look at the hashtag for a second before I move on, because I'm tempted to look at some of the stuff here. Champions. These are older tweets now, aren't they, I think? Yeah, Team Falcons, second place in Rocket League Spring Majors. Heads up, boys, we're all proud of you. They did play very well. There's an Esports News UK tweet there. And I also linked I did a little thread as well with the Joyo clip and a picture, the tweet featuring his mum as well. Might do some more other quotes and bits and pieces. Murti Shah said, Rocket League is the best esports in the world with the best fans in the world. Thanks for everyone for watching and joining us at the Copper Box. Let's keep growing this game. Only the World Championship left. See you there. Esports Manager Operations at Psyonix. Yes. Craftman. We've had Craftman host a Rocket League interview with Endpoint player Relating Wave on the Esports News UK Twitch channel. He said, what a weekend. That was just as good as I thought it'd be, and then some. The chanting was its own beast by the end of it all, and it made me so happy. Thanks for joining in. Next stop, Dallas. Hashtag landed. Oh, look, there's Jokerism there with the Hot Drop team. How's your daughter getting on at Hot Drop, Odie? Because they've hired Nathan Edmonds now as well, haven't they? From formerly of Hitmarker and Exo Esports. Hot Drop said, we've had some of our creative team on the ground this past week delivering the awesome content. Ah, right, okay. So have they been doing some social or other content bits and pieces for Rocket League? I wasn't aware of that. Rocket League said, by the way, this spring major set the record for most Game 7s played in any RLCS event. And Endpoint, we love a spontaneous Metsonoris chant in the grand finals. That's one of their players. Let's have a look at this. Odie says this game is vital in my opinion as a great intro to esports. 100% agree, Odie. For me, it's the most accessible esport and the most accessible, but also still interesting to watch esport, right? Because I think FIFA is relatively accessible and Fortnite as well. But I think Rocket League, because of the age rating, right, it's open to everyone, whatever it is, free plus. It's so easy to pick up and understand. I completely agree, Odie. Don Jake, hello. Hi, Don Jake, how are you? Your stream the other night, Don Jake, was absolutely incredible. To the point where I was thinking, shall I even bother streaming to my handful of viewers without the entertainment factor that you have, right? It made me realise I'm a bit of a dull streamer, aren't I? Right? I can chat and I can natter and I do the news, but what you were doing was really entertaining, mate. And I think if you wanted to, Don Jake, you could quite easily be a streamer. To be honest, like you could quite easily grow your channel and be a full-time streamer, in my opinion. because that was wholly entertaining the other night. If people don't know, I'm gonna. Well, now's a good time, right, to move on from Rocket League and talk about other stuff here. We've kind of covered Rocket League, I think, here. But if anyone wants to add anything else or watched it, please just mention it in the chat. But I interviewed Don Jake the other day, and if people don't know who Don Jake is, he's a content creator, caster in League of Legends, and team owner as well. Where's the interview gone here? Here we go. And we did a stream on Tuesday. I'd like to do these end of week news streams once a week, and then I'd also like to do interviews once a week. I don't always get the time, and I do have a very busy July coming up. I've been commissioned to do a bit of freelance stuff, so you know, I'll probably have a little bit less time for doing streams on top of articles as well this month. But yeah, we interviewed Don Jake, and it was a real straight fire interview because, and this wasn't my intention. I was tempted to put a tweet out on this saying, you know, I don't go out of my way to just crap on other esports orgs in the NLC, in UK and Nordics League of Legends. I just thought it'd be interesting to chat with Don Jake, someone who has done some interesting things in the scene. I think got a good sense of humour, very good content and video content, which the UK League scene has needed, in my opinion. But it just turns out this became the main focus because Don Jake was on fire, bringing to light all these opinions on how we should improve the scene, how orgs aren't doing enough, aren't doing content like they should be doing, which I agree with in general, and also not doing enough to build their identity, right? This idea of UK identity. And I agree with that. I do agree with that. I do think we have, I don't, you know, want to rubbish the hard work that the orgs put in, because I think they do put in some good work, but they can be doing more on the content side, and this was a good chat we had. And I actually did a Twitter thread with pulling out lots of clips from the stream, and yeah, it was a great chat. And then Don Jake did his own that's not bad, is it? Almost 1,200 views. Don Jake did his own stream the other night, where it was like a midnight stream where he was just calling up random people on his Discord and just doing a Don Jake show, doing a quiz and stuff like that. It was like something from the radio, right? It was good fun. So yeah, go and have a look at this thread. To be honest, I'll probably add this thread into the article I've done at some point. Let's play a clip. What clip should we play, Don Jake? What clip should we pick here to play on stream? Div 1 orgs are really shit. Mediocrity cannot be allowed to prosper. NLC teams don't do enough in terms of branding. I'll tell you one. We'll do the main one here. NLC Div 1 orgs aren't very good. Content, announcement video. Yeah, we'll play this one to give you a feel for what John, Jake and I were sort of talking about in this stream.
First of all, orgs are like really shit. Like, all of the NLC Div 1 orgs, like, I'll come on here to like talk shit. I don't care about this because I actually care about this scene a lot, and I really want us to grow. But like, all of you NLC Div 1 orgs, like, bar maybe like Veneer is the only example. Shout out to Veneer, actually. You can use that as a headline if you like want to do a write up. Like, shout out to Veneer specifically, because they're the only org I've seen actually like prey upon this like nationalism, pride, or whatever, and like actually builds a fan base. Like, because when you have the NLC, the whole way it's set out, like you see the infographic at the beginning, it's like the 8 stars that lead to like the Mount Everest kind of thing. You've seen the graphic or whatever. Like, UK don't do enough to like build their identity. We're the UK, man. Like, even if you're a London org, like London is the capital of like arrogance in the West. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, we're so like braggadocious. Like, I grew up with people in London that will like tell you like, oh, let me have a go on your bike, and then never come back with your bike. Like, we're just the original like. Where's that energy? Where's that like rebel kind of like? First of all, orgs.
I don't. That doesn't surprise me, Don Jake, that you upset a few people. I'm surprised I didn't get DMs. I'm surprised I didn't get any DMs. I thought I was going to be accused of just attacking orgs. No, I have an interview guest on. You talk about what you like. I don't censor and things like that. That's not my style. Odie, yes, these are purely NLC orgs. So the NLC, the European Regional League for UK, Ireland and Nordics. So the teams we have here, do we have an easy list somewhere? I can just show Odie. We bring up the summer split. This is like, you have a few of the academy teams, right? Rogue, your academy team. Do you have an academy team? You play in another? It's Ago Rogue, isn't it, or something? Or am I getting that completely wrong? You're in another league. In the NLC, we've got JDXL, which is XL's academy team, and Astralis Talent. They're the two academy teams from the the LEC here. Can you see this okay here? Oh, God's sake! I hate it when my thing does this and it just doesn't fit that well. Hang on, if I zoom in here, will this show it a little bit better? Yeah, there you go. Those are the teams, Odin, in the NLC. So some of them are a bit more grassroots. I mean, X7 are still pretty new from last year. From the Isle of Man, Eminem Gaming are from the UK, and then there's a few others, JDXL from the UK, of course, and then you have a few others from Nordic countries, Northern Europe, that kind of thing, Denmark, countries like that, Norway. And yeah, so it is a tier below LEC, obviously, but you know, it's what the frustration is, Odie, a bit of context, is that I think in the NLC, the viewership isn't as good, isn't as high, nowhere near as high as bigger leagues like France, Spain, even Germany, that kind of thing. So, and Don Jake is also the caster for the LFL French League English broadcast, right? So I did an article on Don Jake when he got that role and everything. Jace says, hello Jace, how's it going? Sorry, a bit delayed there. I'm just checking the chat. There was a player on Twitter who wrote a tweet longer around the same thing too, saying that orgs are scuffed and they offer zero engagement. Can you send me a link to that, Jace, please? Because I think I know who you're talking about, but I'm not 100% sure. That's it, yeah. AGO Rogue is Ultra Liga. Yep. Jace says, why don't XL lean into the JD branding? It's the most British sponsor you could have right beside Tesco or Greggs. Yeah, I mean, they could do, couldn't they? They could do a little bit more on the whole, the tracksuit thing or the sportswear, the sports shop thing. They could have some fun with that, absolutely. Don Jake says, also, JD gives you immediate access to influencers who are like tier 1 in terms of content. Yep. Jay says, Greg's X7 esports win. Imagine the sausage roll memes and things you could do, right? That'd be great. Odie says it's probably because they don't have the money to invest. Well, Odie, what Don Jake countered that with is said he did a cool video the other day for his team. They're in Division 3 of the NLC and said it cost him 50 quid to make that video, right? So Don Jake's argument is that you don't need massive budgets to make, to make like funny content and content that gets whatever, hundreds of likes and shares and things like that. Yes, all those influencer-based shows that JD run feature people like Chunks, Philly, etc. Don Jake says, yeah. Yeah, Odie says it isn't as easy as the obvious. I will say, one thing I will say, playing devil's advocate, Don Jake and Jace, is that when you're working with a big brand, the bigger the brand, sometimes the slower it is and the harder it is to get sign off on things, right? An agreement on things, that can be a pain. Don Jake says, Dom, you're setting me up for a disaster here. My point was that these non-academy orgs have no excuse because creativity isn't limited by finance. Yeah, no, that's what I mean. Yeah, basically that's what I've said, isn't it? No. I don't mean to set you up for a disaster. I agree with you. Right? We should be doing more content and stuff. I don't think what you said was over the top anyway, to be honest. I think there's some cold, hard truths in that. And orgs don't always want to hear it. And if we go back full circle to what it was like in the UK scene whenever, 4 or 5 years ago, where criticism is not taken well. And it should really. I mean, there were egos. I think there's probably fewer egos than there was 5-6 years ago in UK League. But, sometimes there'll be people that don't want to hear criticism at all. And listen, people can say, oh, why didn't Don Jake DM us? I mean, it's not your job to DM individual orgs, right? You can do this in an interview and have your say, and it's a good way to reach the scene in one go, kind of thing, and I think it's interesting to talk about. So, yeah. Don Jake says, I'm frustrated with the scene, but I concede I'm not omniscient to its underworkings. Yep. Odie says no one has really done anything spectacular since I sold Dig. Don Jake says more can be done. Yes, yeah, more can be done. Absolutely. There was something else I was going to talk about around this. Yeah. Jace, is it a player? Let me have a look while I've got this main camera up. Let me just have a look at my DMs. I don't know if you've DM'd or not. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh no, okay, that's something else. That was on a Overwatch thing we were talking about. I can't remember now. I can't remember. I think I might have put it in. I might have put it in an article somewhere here about NLC. There was someone who. Oh, that was it. Singularity. Right. Let's go through my news here. So we've spoken about the Don Jake stuff. There was a Singularity article. Let's go through news. Jace, let me know if it was this article. We'll come on to some of these stories in a minute, these other ones. So here, this was it here. Where are we up to here? June. Yeah, so if I go back to about June 25th-ish, okay, when I read out some of this stuff here. This was it. This was the Team Singularity one here. Let me bring this up now. So Team Singularity announced their roster changes as their student player project comes to an end. They originally had their project, didn't they, at the start of this year, to field a student-only team, and now they're bottom of the table. They've got different investors, different owners, as I understand it, at Singularity now. Now they're making changes. They've ended this student project. They're trying to get results on the board now. And there was someone who put a tweet longer out, and I wanted to talk about this because this is one of the most scathing tweet longers I think I've ever seen, at least in UK League of Legends. So this is Tattoo. I hope I've pronounced that right. Who was at Singularity? Was he the top laner there? I've put it in here somewhere. Where is it here? Yes, he was the top laner. And is this the one you're talking about? Jace, I can't remember where I put it in here now. Where did I put it in? Here we go, here. Yeah. Okay. If Jace is still there, let us know if this is the one, Jace, but it might have been someone else. Odie says, wait till I get green lights on my UK plans. What are those UK plans, Odie? I'd like to know that. Feenix McNoob, how's it going, Alastair? Events are boring as well, Alastair says. Bring back the days of bringing in Flash on a plane into a hangar. And Don Jake says, Odie, in League of Legends... Okay, I have a lot of plans, Odie says. Oh, Don Jake says, I had a very strange interaction with someone from Singularity DMing me about me flaming them on Twitter. Oh, yep. They tried to engage in a very tricky game of mental gymnastics with me and got very bent out of shape. Okay. Yeah, so this was it. So I'm going to read through this, guys, because this is a like, I don't know how to describe it, really. I mean, blunt is one word to describe. Very blunt, open and honest twitlonger. This is a top laner in the NLC, Tattoo, who said, list of faults during my last two NLC splits. Really going in like hard from the off. The biggest reason in my mind why NLC didn't have a big viewership at the beginning was simply because of the casters and how they were so focused on shitting on every team instead of trying to create hype around games. But the most recent split has been great from the cast. I can't agree with this, to be honest. I think the casters, I think we have a good casting lineup, and maybe it was that Tattoo has taken it personal, right? That they were, he's put shit in on every team. I mean, maybe they were, they must have been criticising Singularity, right? If you're bottom of the table. Yeah, I'm going to go through some of this here. To be honest, if I go in, I pulled out some of the stuff in my article here. He's put here, the most toxic players in EU West are from Scandinavian countries and more precisely Danish players. Most chill players come from the UK or Eastern Europe. I don't know if it's because of the benching of former Singularity mid laner Muta or what, but it seems like every Danish player hates my guts. I've seen all kinds of players, but the first time I had to play with a guy who ignores his team in order to boost his own laning stats and won't participate in anything the team does. Sorry, Muter, but it's the truth. It amazes me people refuse to see this and only look at stats. So pretty harsh. You know, this is almost burning bridge kind of stuff. It said most coaches at the European Regional League level are shameless paycheck stealers. When I pointed this out in the tweet, and I linked to the tweet longer, I had people messaging me saying, "Yeah, everyone knows that, Dom. You know, most coaches are shameless paycheck stealers." I don't know. It's a bit harsh, isn't it, to say that shameless paycheck stealers? I'm sure there are some. I'm sure there are you know, working coaches out there. Most coaches at the ERL level are shameless paycheck stealers and have insanely massive egos. Tattoo said. If you're not a redeemed coach, you should stick to being there to help players figure stuff out on their own and not plant shit ideas into their heads. And some coaches might be good at coaching in-game stuff, but are carried by their players that excuse really bad drafting and get hyped when they do shit creative drafts. Also, why does every player who quit try to be a coach? Being a decent player does not automatically make you a person who can teach others. Well, I do agree with that. Yes, I do agree with that, and I think it requires a different skill. People have insulted Nice this year a lot because he charges a lot for his coaching, right? $300 a session or whatever it is. I've watched a lot of Nice's videos. He, you know, you love him or hate him, but he knows how to coach people. I think, in my opinion, compared to other coaches out there. I've seen a lot of coaches out there in League of Legends who are very much do this, do that, right, and not really allow you to learn that much. Now, Nice does that a little bit as well. He does do the go up there, go down there, but he does try to explain as well why. And what I like about him that a lot of League of Legends coaches don't do. I'm talking live coaches here, not specifically just YouTube content. But a lot of live coaches, they don't ask questions and ask open questions. You know, Nice will ask things like, "What's your goal with the game?" You know, things like that. "What did you learn from today's session?" These sound like really simple things, and I'm not a coach, right? But I've done coaching and consultancy courses and things, and asking open questions is really good to help people learn by themselves and figure things out for themselves, right? Rather than just go up here, you're rubbish, what are you doing? Why aren't you doing this and that with your wave and your lane and all this stuff? Anyway, like I say, I'm not an expert coach. Don't listen to me on that, but that's my opinion. Okay. What else have people been saying in the chat here? Let's catch up. I've got quite a bit to catch up on here. 1 second, because I like to keep the stream active and interactive. Odie said Ravens won twice this week, and let me just I'll tell you what we'll do, Odie. I'll just open this up in a new tab and we'll have a look at that in a second, because I've been out, and with the Rocket League thing I haven't really looked at other esports this weekend. I've looked at the LEC, we'll talk about that as well. Jace said this is out of pocket, to be honest, but they have things to say and it's discussion worthy. Don Jake says it lacks a lot of foresight. There's many factors in the UK being rubbish, all scamming, ESL getting forced out. Funny story, Don. When I was in Denmark doing content for Rate, we were sitting outside the bar, rather drunk, in a random Danish city. Up pulls Muter on a bicycle. He lived next door to the bar. Complete coincidence. That must have been pretty fun. Did you say hi and everything? Rifty says you'd be really surprised, Dom. Yeah, and do you know what, Rifty? I'm not privy always. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. It was good to see you on the Don Jake show the other day, and I think you were in the stream right when we interviewed Don Jake, but. Yeah, you know, I sometimes people will share things with me, but I'm not always privy to everything, right, behind the scenes. It's only when people choose to share things with me, or if I pry and I start asking questions. And I think with UK League, I've asked a lot of questions over the years, and I've annoyed a lot of people. And I think in recent years, I've just toned that back a little bit, where I write about other esports as well. And the scene has become more professional, right? You know, you might moan, but it has, hasn't it, compared to those 2015, 2016 years. Odie says, I want to emphasise this, what Odie said here. No one learns. Makes me sigh. The same shit happens over and over again. And same here, Odie. I see it happening a lot. I see the same old stuff happening. I see the same conversations coming up year after year. Oh, it's a lack of sponsor money, and oh, this and that, you know. and no one really learns. I've said ages ago, XL Esports were not a well-performing team in the UK scene. When I launched Esports News UK, they were a bottom half of the table team in the ESL Premiership, and then a few years later they made it to the LEC because they secured investment. They were good with their networking and I guess business and sales skills and all of that stuff. If XL could do it with the level they were performing at back then, other orgs can do it as well. 100%. Yeah, sorry, OD. I don't know. Where I don't have like mods. Well, I have had people offering to mod the stream for me, but where I don't have mods every night or whatever stream I put live, I have like a night bot that's been set up that does cancel some swear words. So yeah, apologies for that. Don Jack says Nice's platform is more advanced than other coaches. The problem is his skill level isn't high enough to justify the price. You kind of hit the nail on the head there, right? He's peak challenger, NA challenger, but I think because he spends all his time coaching, right, he doesn't grind to get back to challenger again, and I'm not sure what his current elo is, but I can hear your point there. Yep. Jay says, as a caster myself, one of the core things you do when casting a really poor team is point out why they are bad, where the gaps are in quality. Otherwise, it comes across as patronising and fake. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know, players can take things the wrong way, can't they? Sometimes, and they just see the criticism. They won't see the sort of reasoning behind the criticism. They might take it personally. I've when you've put I am Dom OD, I've forgotten what I've asked now because I'm catching up on the chat. We're talking about coaching. Oh, an expert coach. Yes, 100%. 100%. That's your bread and butter, isn't it, OD? And management, org management. I think Nice gets results, but most of his customers are lower elo, so it's easier, says Jace. Yep, another good point. They are. They're sort of my elo level, right? He gets a lot of silver players, doesn't he? In Don Jack says, I could get results out of silver and bronze players. Someone like Veteran Vigar V2 will make a Div 2 player into an ERL player with the same amount of time. Yeah, and that's different, right? Nice has said in the past, he doesn't claim to be an esports coach. He doesn't claim to be an esports expert. He sometimes critiques worlds matches and things like that. But he doesn't claim to be at that high level. He is a lower elo coach. And he is, in my opinion, he's good at coaching lower elo players. But yeah, is it worth $300 a session? Well, people are paying that money, right? He increased his prices. He said this. He increased his prices because he was getting too many people coming to him, right? And that makes sense. So you raise your prices, you get fewer people coming to you, you can manage your time better, and you make more money out of each sale, right? It makes sense. But it annoys people. I think some people have got a bit jealous of him and started moaning. XL Esports coach did it. Nelson as well. John Jake says, I resent the argument that, well, people will buy it. That doesn't justify the scam. You think it's predatory. See, I disagree that it's a scam. A scam implies that that something is potentially illegal, right? Or shady, or cheating people, tricking people out of their money. Nice isn't doing that. He's like, here's my coaching, right? Here's what it costs. You might, maybe you're saying it's a scam as in way overpriced, right? Ridiculous, a scam in that way, right? I hear what you're saying in that case. 1 second, what's my phone doing here? Rifty says, my issue with Nice is he's overpriced for a subpar product. You're getting ripped off for what you get. Yeah, do you know what? While we're doing this, guys, I did an article the other day on... before I move on to that, I'll look at the Nice thing in a minute because I think it's interesting to talk about coaching stuff. Tattoo said, Singularity claims, during the first Singularity split NLC this year, we played almost the entirety of the split with no pay and we're really close to going public that we are getting scammed, but there was some issue with owner transitions and eventually we got our pay. Later on I learned it was because of the actions of the former owner who managed to F things up really well. Me and most players that got benched or left Singularity were happy it happened. I've never experienced such a bad relationship between owners and the players. Don't be loyal to organisations. It's never worth it. And yet, from what I understand, players were aware that that they were going to get paid, but there were some delays. but I'm not privy to the insides of that. And then again, I had people saying to me on Twitter, "Oh, it's well known, Dom, that this blah 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 has happened." So yeah, but it's out there now, right? And this real scathing twit longer, it raised my eyebrows, that's for sure. Let's go into the niche stuff, because I did an article the other week. Sometimes I do articles on Esports News UK that aren't UK, right? There isn't a strong UK link, but people in the UK will be interested in it, and I see people talking about it and that kind of stuff. And one of these things was on a niche thing. Here we go. Tarzan, the US streamer, criticised League of Legends coaches' refund policy before offering his own coaching services. So what happened was, one of Nice's clients couldn't attend his $300 coaching session, was unable to receive a refund. Nice responded, said, if he got screwed over in some way, I'll happily refund him. But if clients are 15 minutes or more late, I no longer do the coaching. I set up a stream in a day around them. I have PayPal fees and have to make sure my other coaches are taken care of. I don't have time for clients that schedule and don't show up on time. Just stop the weird drama. So again, some people weren't very happy with this, saying, well, 15 minutes isn't a long time. You know, this person's lost $300 because he was over 15 minutes late or whatever. And yeah, all the drama came out again. But to be honest, you know, you can say there's no such thing as bad publicity. Nice, this stuff is giving Nice more promotion, right? Because all of Tarzan's followers now know who Nice is and might be interested in getting coaching from him. So, I mean, Nice might get annoyed, but to be honest, it's just giving him more promotion, is how I see it. Where's the... I did another article on it recently, and I know I've linked to it. Here we go, yeah. This was back in... Wow, this is like half a year ago now. This is towards the end of last year. This article, for some weirdly, does well for me. Probably because people are typing in Nice coaching fees drama or something like that, and it's coming up number one on Google. Nelson, XL Esports coach, said, why be a pro team coach when you can earn $2,100 a day and $63,000 a month if you just work 7 hours a day XD? And yeah, that got 1,500 likes. And yeah, he seems to be a Marmite character, Nice. He seems to be a Marmite character. I don't mind him. Does that annoy you? I quite like watching his YouTube. I do think he has to toe the line between entertainment, right, producing streams and YouTube content, and also coaching. And sometimes the two don't quite get the balance right, and it's a hard balance to get right. I wouldn't be able to do it. Let's catch up on some of this stuff here. Don Jake said it's shady to charge $300 to a bronze player when you have full knowledge that these same people can seek out a wealth of free information. Yes, I will say that, Don Jake. I will say there's a lot of free info out there, almost too much. And where do you start? There's too much stuff out there, pro guides and God knows what else. You can get lost in it, I think. Jace says it's the same as like the NFT scammers. You're kind of preying on people's ignorance. If you did your research, you'd go to even one of his coaches and pay half the price or even a third. The brand is what attracts him, says Don Jake. It's really the deal breaker. It's the same way that strength of advertisement will make you associate that brand as number one. Yeah. Yeah, terms of service, OD, refund policy, etc. I've never heard of him. Yeah, Don Jake said he seems to be a pretty bad person. Again, a mutually exclusive criticism of his coaching, but that's what catches a lot of flack. Also, Jay says pro guides and all of them are a scam actually too. I did a thread on Nice on how I feel about his coaching and that, and I had a few people attacking me and saying, oh, he's sexist and this and that and the other, and I hadn't seen that stuff beforehand. I do think there was a bunch of old tweets, some of which were taken out of context, and he's since said I'm a different person now, blah blah blah. I don't really want to go down that rabbit hole. Yes, we don't want sexism in esports and all that stuff, of course we don't, but my point, I was talking about the coaching stuff, right? But I've added in some of these accusations that he had his way as well, to be fair, into the article. So there we go. But I don't want to go too much into drama. I don't want to go too much down down that rabbit hole. Let's go back here. Let's jump into some other news. And let me know as well, guys, to be honest. Let me know, because sometimes I just whittle through stories and people aren't always super interested in them. So is there anything you want to talk about in the chat? Let me know. LEC, another esport, a different division in the NLC. Something's happened that I might have missed. It happens. I'm not an all-seeing, all-knowing God, as much as I might like to be in esports. Is there anything anyone wants to talk about in esports in particular? Well, Odie said the Ravens. We'll come on to the Ravens next. Yeah, this has really got us talking, isn't it? This niche stuff here. iCrazy says Trackmania skin coming soon. Hello, iCrazy. Yeah, I'm interested to learn about that. You'll have to let me know what's going on, and when it does drop, let me know. I'm sure I'll drop you a retweet. Dropping next week. Okay, cool. All right. Okay, cool. Let's move into let's have a look at the Ravens here. Nasty's had his birthday. What were your matches this weekend, Odie? You beat the Florida Mutineers. This is just the CDL, isn't it? Usual CDL matches this week, right? This weekend. So you beat the Mutineers, and who else did you beat here? Rocker. Okay, great stuff. How are you doing at the moment then, Odie? Should we have a look at the standings? Fourth. Is this? Am I looking at the right thing here? You might not. Hang on. Let's have a look here. Streaming in UK. I didn't have the thing up, did I? When I was looking at this thing. So you've got. Yeah, there we go. We're missing the numbers on the left, but you can obviously make it out. Fourth. So you're right behind Seattle Surge, 5 points. And then you've got FaZe running away with it, and Optic a little bit ahead as well. So, but that's pretty damn good, Odie. You know, top 4. Arsenal territory. Well, actually, I know, not this season, is it? That's the old Arsenal territory. Top 4. That's depressing. Paris Legion aren't doing very well, are they? Dear, oh dear. 20 points. God, dear. LA Thieves, I mean, they won't be happy with that. 8th. Yeah, it's pretty good. And you're ahead of Toronto Ultra by 30 points. Obviously, the UK players there. That's pretty damn good, Odie. Yes, top 8 go to champs. New York Major next week. Ah, right, New York Major next week. Again, I'm not super duper keeping up on this. Let's have a look at that on Liquipedia. If it is on Liquipedia, should be. Is this it? Major 4, NYXL. This has got to be it, hasn't it? There we go. Is this it? July 14th to 17th, Brooklyn. New York Subliners are hosting this one. Is this it here, Major 4? This is it, isn't it? Major 4, New York. Well, I'll make a note of that. Oh, so we don't have fully qualified teams yet. I'm not down on the qualification of these majors. You know, is it every team in the CDL? 12 teams here. Yeah, it is, isn't it? It's just every team, and I guess it depends on seeding and stuff in the league. Paris ownership is very bad. iCrazy says. Odie says, I wanted to go, but I'm in Saudi. I will go champs in LA in August. Okay, cool. Yeah, Don Jake, old school lot. Moose, Mad Cat, Judd, Tommy. I miss old school UK COD. I was 13 when it was all kicking off. Tommy, I know, still does streaming, I think. I'm pretty sure he's pretty popular. He's with 100 Thieves. Yeah, my goodness, he has 211,000 followers. So he's not pro player anymore, is he? Oh, he's got professional player. Maybe I'm wrong. I thought he was a streamer now, Tommy. I'm pretty sure he is for this 100 Thieves, for the LA Thieves. Let's have a look here. Yeah, he's a streamer, I think. Although, what was this thing here? Call of Duty League Resurgence, because he played with Rated, Almond and Noobs. Is that right? Is he on the team now? No, role streamer. There we go. Yeah, he is a streamer. I don't know. That must be a different match, a different sort of thing. This tournament. Ravens weren't in this one. Oh, yes, they were. I'm a bit confused as to what this is. Odie, help me. What is this thing? And what's Tommy doing playing if he's a streamer? Odie's just laughed at the phrase old school. Odie said, I had the best team in the world in 2006, all British. That's it. Tommy plays Warzone. Yep. Not the main game. Odie says to Don Jake, you were not born when I turned pro, Don Jake. Duke Nukem, Quake 3, Battlefield 1942. Don Jake says I was 6 years old. Oh, do you know what I want to do, guys? Do you know what you've just reminded me? It was a while back. I put a tweet out. Let's see if I can find it here. There was a tweet I put out for UK Esports history. So I did a talk at XO Esports a while back. And on there, I'm not going to be able to find it now, am I? Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, so I did this here. Let's bring this up. Again. History of UK Esports, call for submissions. I'm making a presentation. Oh, I've got a typo in there on this topic. Having fun researching this. Had a good chat with Odie. I'd love to see your pics and info. I was overwhelmed with the things I was sent, and I would like to do a whole separate stream. To be honest, I'm gonna what do you call it? I'm gonna put a note up on my. I've got a little whiteboard that's out of shot here, and I'm gonna put it up here to try and remind me to do it. I have some things on my to-do list up here because I would like to do that on stream. So I can talk through UK esports history with you all. I think it'd be quite fun, especially for some of the younger people, you know, like yourself, Don Jake, other people, teenagers and people like that follow us. Look, Odie's sharing pictures here. It's just older players. Sujoy Roy, one of the early sort of top UK pro players. I received a lot of pictures from the Insomnia team, Craig Fletcher. Just loads of stuff. And I'll go through it at some point because it's in presentation form and I'd need to make it a little bit easier to read. But yeah, the old Insomnia pictures, there's a lot of interesting stuff there. And yeah, thanks for your help with that, Odie, because this is something I do with my, you know, when I do my consultancy stuff now. It's all very fun. Feenix McNoob says, me and another friend used to scrim with 2 of your teams. Nice. Don Jake says, I went to Gfinity when Infuse beat Optic. I was 13. Yeah, I mean, that would have been... Yeah, I'll post it in chat, actually, Don. Maybe you can bring it up on stream. Yeah, let me know, or DM me, because I don't have... I mean, actually, I'll tell you what, I could bring my stream up here. If you want to post it in the chat, I'll bring it up. Crazy says, shame Infuse died. Yeah, Team Infused. I mean, they were pretty good in UK League of Legends. They won quite a few things, and they won. I think they had Alfari back in the day. Was that Team Infused? Yeah, here we go. It's one of my interviews from late 2015. I interviewed Alfari and Maxlaw back when they were really young, but they absolutely they tore up the scene that year. They won everything. They really did well. They actually went undefeated, I think, that season. That's season 2 of the ESL UK Premiership, which is what the NLC is now, right? But it was just UK, and then it was UK and Ireland, and then we got bunched in with the Nordic teams years later. Awesome. Look, this is a headline from me from almost 7 years ago. Awesome Alfari helps Team Infused sweep aside FM Esports in final ESL UK group stage match. This is back when I was doing match reports. I don't really do match reports anymore because no one reads them. People watch VODs and they don't really like reading match reports unless it's a final of Worlds or something like that. Then people don't really care about weekly matches. But back then, I enjoyed doing it, and I was sort of taking the BBC approach, right, when they do match reports on football and stuff like that. Yeah, I've gone on a massive tangent. Is there anything else people want to talk about before I start whittling through news? I won't go too much into detail on each story because there's quite a few stories, but if there's anything that catches your eye and people want to talk about and go into more detail, we can do. Look, Discord. Okay, 1 second. Oh, wow. Oh, this is what you were telling me about, Don Jake, isn't it? The nade shot thing. Let's bring this up here. Look at that. That's a young Don Jake with and also young nade shot there. That's mad. I can see, yeah. I can still see it's you, but yeah, it's crazy to see. What year was that, Don Jake? Did you say? I can't remember how many years ago you said that was now. Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, the oldest I've got with someone, I think, was when I interviewed, oh God, ex-Peke at the Worlds 2015. I also interviewed you there, OD. You got off the train, I remember that. 2013, 2014. Wow, so you weren't... Yeah, oh my God, yeah, so young there. I mean, you're 22, aren't you, Don Jake? I'm 36. Odie's older than both of us. Yeah, I mean, the earliest pictures I had, if I put in ex-Peke Sacco, there we go, look. Look at that old thing there. Can you see that? Is that coming up okay? It's not really, is it? Let's try and bring this in. Oh, it's from my my website here, my Dom Sacco website. Yeah, look, back when I still had a little bit of hair left. That was 2015. So that's a similar time, really. That's a year or two after your picture of nade shot. Ex-Peke was still a pro player back then. Yeah, pretty crazy. The Origin was his org, right? Before Australis bought it, Origin was his org, and he was playing for him. That's pretty interesting. Dom Jake says you look so much like D-Man. Do I? Let's. I don't think I do. You know, whenever someone says to you like, "Oh, you look like this person," I can never see it. Do you think I look like? Shall I? How can I get these? How can I get these things up here? Let me save these images and then I'll put them into. Hang on a second. Let me save these images and then I'll put them side by side. Oh, hang on a minute. This one isn't going to work. Hang on a minute. Just got to go into Photoshop and do something. This one is a .webp file, which means you can't save it as a JPEG, which is annoying. 1 second. Oh, Untitled 1 already exists. Blooming thing. Right, here we go. Let me just bring these into the stream here. add source. Bear with the boomer. 1 second. Image file. There we go. Do you think I look like him? Let's hang on. Do you think we look similar there? A little bit. Maybe a tiny bit, yeah. Yeah, maybe a tiny bit. I mean, I think he's older than me, isn't he? I don't know how much older he is. He was my Battlefield teammate. Odie says he played for Team Dignitas over it. I didn't realise that, Odie. I thought he was. I didn't realise his playing background. Cousins, maybe. Yeah, maybe. That's pretty cool, isn't it? I always think it's a shame he sort of went out of league casting. I don't actually know what he does now. Freelance commentator and host. I don't see him doing many esports things. Oh, he did a Qatar thing with Neokai, a UK CSGO caster. What was this? FIFA Champions Cup. Okay, so he does some FIFA stuff he's been doing. Yeah, FIFA Champions Cup. Here we go. So he's been doing some FIFA stuff this year then. It's a shame he left League. I liked him in League, but he was a little bit before I sort of came into League and started following it a lot. You know, I sort of missed his era in League. Just missed it when I started following League a lot. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, well, how do we get onto that lookalikes in esports and stuff like that? Let's go into some of the other stories here. I know it's late. Yeah, Odie says Joe Miller also. He played for another team, but the three of us played for the UK national team. Don Jake says, funny how closely interlinked everyone is if you go back far enough. Like my biggest inspiration, probably. Rifty says, used to watch Demand Cast on my way to school back in the day. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's awesome. It is. We remember this stuff, don't we? We remember these people. We kind of like figures in the scene. And they leave a lasting impression. I mean, for me, Quickshot as well. Quickshot is, when I started following League, he was, I mean, Quickshot's been around ages, hasn't he? I sort of, I admire Quickshot and the work, and Shocks as well, and those guys. I think this is an interesting one here. I mean, this had been talked about for a little while, but I want to mention it because Benji Fishy is one of the biggest UK sports players we have in from our region. Again, still very young. I think he's 18 years old. He made his break in Fortnite when he was 14, and he's just moved to Valorant. Now, he's still at NRG, but he's going to be streaming, from what I understand it. He's streaming for NRG Valorant. So whether he becomes an actual player on their team, on their Valorant team at some point, or joins another Valorant team in the future, who knows? But he's a very good Fortnite player, and I do think those skills cross over. Odie, you'll know this, right? I know esports has changed since how it was back in the day. But if you're a good shooter player, you can cross over. I mean, look at all the CSGO players we've seen move to Valorant and do pretty well. I know Fortnite is different to those games, but you need that twitch reflexes, don't you? You know, you need to be a crack shot, you need to be fast, all this other stuff that goes into it at the high level. I think you can learn a game. Valorant is still a new game, right? It's only 2 years old. To me, that's a new game still, newish game. So yeah, let's see what's next for him. I mean, Epic Games probably won't be happy that pro players are leaving, but Fortnite is still popular. I know you see people saying, "Oh, it's a dead game," but I don't think it is. I like the stuff they've put in, like with the no build mode and all of that stuff. So yeah, I did a post on this. I know Benji Fishy's mum, who does stuff with the Coalition of Parents in Esports, COPE, and I did a bit of PR work with her actually, because she has a Fortnite book. She published last year, so I helped with some PR of that and reviewed the book and stuff, and I've interviewed her. And she's actually, I don't know if she still is now, but she was signed to an esports org. She was the first you know, mum of a pro gamer to be signed to an esports org herself. Let's see if she's still there. Yeah, Galaxy Racer. Yeah, she's still there at the moment. Look, and she's got 105,000 followers. I've still got blooming D-Man up here, haven't I? Bloody hell, go away. Yeah, she's got 105,000 followers, and you know, she's a mum of an esports player. I think that's amazing, and she does her own Fortnite streams now as well. I think that's brilliant. How long has he been up there on the stream? I've been talking about that whole Benji Fishy story. Yeah, Don Jake's gone, for fuck's sake. Tommy's still on the screen. Oh dear. We still have a giant D-Man on screen. Yeah, sorry guys. He's gone now. He's gone now. I am a boomer and I'm a streamer. I've been streaming for like whatever it is now, 4 months. No, about half a year I think now. So I've got no excuses. I've got no excuses whatsoever. Let's go into other stories and things. Where was I here? Let's go into other news here. I'll scroll through here. British sim racer James Baldwin won the Alpine Esports Series Championship. I won't talk about that because I know none of you really care about sim racing. To be honest, not many of my readers do. Do you know with sim racing, right? Do you know what I think about sim racing? I think the people that like sim racing are petrol heads, right? They're racing fans in general, real life racing, and then they like the virtual side. I don't see many people that like, oh yeah, I'm going to watch the CSGO major and watch LEC. Oh, by the way, the F1 Esports series is this weekend. I don't know anyone that does that. Right? For me, the people that watch F1 Esports series and stuff like that, that's what they like. They don't really care about other esports. That's the impression I get anyway, and I think it shows in the readership. Right? I don't get high readership for sim racing content, but we have some good UK racers, so I will write about these guys and girls. This was a good one here. Fnatic have got a couple of UK players on their Valorant team. They've won Stage 2 challenges. They're very happy with that because they've come close a few times, finishing second and stuff. They finished second at the Masters 2, I think it was last year. And their British team captain, Boaster, not a sentence you write every day, celebrated today with some rapid twerking and mock machine gun firing after the win, showing his energetic personality and charisma. I don't know if you saw this, but he does make me laugh, Boaster. He does some real crazy things on this. This was after the win.
Yeah. What a close. What a close to this series. Again, like I said, that almost does justice for both of these teams, really, and just how close that was. The 3-0 scoreline, I mean, one thing, but split overtime, Haven overtime.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Fnatic.
He's got such energy. I love that about him. He's got such passion and he's positive. What I like about Boaster, compared to a lot of esports players, he's positive. He smiles, right? I don't think we have enough esports players. I know you're professional. You take things serious. You want to be serious. You want to win. But Boaster, I like that about him, because I think if you're relaxed and you're positive, you know, I think you're less likely for things to affect you and to annoy you and to get involved in drama. I don't see him getting involved in drama and stuff and letting things bother him because he's so positive. So I think he's a good role model, actually, Boaster. And I don't think anyone would have predicted from his CSGO days, playing at Insomnia and stuff like that years ago, where he would have got to now. And, you know, he's worked damn hard to get there. He's worked damn hard and he's done well in Valorant now. And now he's got however many followers is it Boaster has now. Almost 200,000 followers. That's an incredible rise in the space of about a year and a half or whatever it's been. 2 years, a year and a half. From not much at all to that much. Yeah, so Fnatic will be happy with that. They've got this win. They're going to Copenhagen now, which is the next of Valorant VCT Masters, I think. And yeah, Boaster said, it feels good to win this title. I thought maybe I was born to be a second place Andy, but it doesn't look like it now, does it? We've got our first place. We got our first place. I've got a taste of winning now. A taste so sweet, so delish. So yeah, I do write about Fnatic. Obviously, they're headquartered here. I know they're a global brand, but we also had a lot of UK talent as well in Valorant on these Stage 2 challenges. Broadcasters, Yinsu, Ian Chambers, Pansy, obviously for the CSGO stuff, Dinko, Hypoc, all these people, other players, Mystic, Soulcast, Russ, Guild are doing pretty well. I think Guild, where did they finish here? Guild finished third in this. It's pretty good for them. So yeah, that's Valorant. I don't know if people care about Valorant in this chat. Oh, mine from Into the Breach came second in the Trackmania World Cup. Thank you, iCrazy. That was on my list actually to. That was on. Oh, I can't remember what his blooming handle is here. That was on my list to check tomorrow. The Trackmania stuff. So I might do an article on that. There we go. Second place. Great stuff. Who finished first then? I'm guessing it's not Pack then, right? Because you would have told me, right? If Pack from M&M Gaming had won. Shall we have a look at the Liquipedia? Because I did an article on previewing this. They sent a press release out, Ubisoft. Let's have a look here. Carl Jr. from Canada won, from Team Solari in France. And then we had mine from the UK org Into the Breach. Where's Pack finished? Okay, 5th to 8th. Okay. I was saying I wouldn't expect him to finish in the bottom half, but he's finished in the top half there for M&M. But he'll probably be disappointed with that, right? Pack will be looking for. He's won so many tournaments over the years. I'm sure he'll probably be a bit disappointed with that, but not too bad, is it? We had M&M Gaming and Into the Breach finish 2nd and 5th to 8th respectively. I'll take that. Carmine and a few others finishing in the bottom half. Berlin International also in 5th to 8th. So yeah, thanks for letting me know about that. iCrazy. I'll probably do something on that tomorrow and look at what he said about it or what Into the Breach have said about it. Richard Lewis announced his retirement from esports. Now, you guys might have seen this because the tweet did blow up when I did this. But also Richard did get a lot of sort of hate comments and things like that after the tweet, which was a bit annoying because a lot of those people making those comments don't even follow Esports News UK. I think the fact that I did a tweet on it, Richard retweeted it and everything, and it kind of got a lot of reach. So yeah, sad to see Richard go. I mean, he hasn't retired yet. He's going to be retired. He's going to be scaling back esports content over time until there's none left in his life. Until then, his esports work, including his work for Dixerto, will continue. I don't want to go into this too much because, like I say, the tweet I did and that, it generated negative responses from people and stuff like that. But you did have a lot of people as well saying it's sad for the scene. And like I did an opinion piece saying, you know, it's up to other journalists to step up now. And I've mentioned other journalists like Adam Fitch, Tom Mattison, Louis Mira, people like that who I can see an influence from Richard Lewis in those journalists. But some of these journalists, like with George Geddes, for example, he's purely Valorant, right? Where Richard Lewis has done multiple esports with more of a focus on CSGO. Yeah, we'll see what happens. But I thought it was a sad day for esports journalism. We'll see what happens, but I don't want to dwell on it too much. And it did happen a little while ago now as well. So that's that. X7, we haven't spoken about this, have we? X7, we're League of Legends focus here, what aren't we on Esports News UK? X7 have acquired yet another org here. Tom's in the chat. Sneaky Beaky TTV. Hey Tom, how's it going? Love her as a CS caster. Need to steal her back. Oh, Pansy, yeah. And I need to apologise to Tom because shout out to Tom. He's been doing some volunteer work for us and did this great interview with Frankie Ward at the CSGO Antwerp Major the other week, and has sent me an 8,000 word interview with was it Harry or Hugo? I can't remember which one now because I haven't looked at it yet. And I need to find 3 to 4 hours to go through this. And I haven't had 3 to 4 hours. My life's just been mad the past couple of weeks. So I do want to get onto that. And Tom, you've been at the British Esports Champs Student Finals this weekend, so I'm looking forward to talking to you, catching up with you this week. But the 8,000 words, it's going to take me a while, and I've warned you, Tom, I'm going to chop into it. By the time I'm done with it, it'll probably be 4,000 to 5,000, probably. But we'll see how we go. 8,000 is very long, very long. But yeah, this was great, the Frankie Ward thing, really nice, and nice pictures and everything like that. So check that out if you haven't done already, people in the chat, if you're interested in this kind of thing. I think Tom's done really well with his interviews. So yes. Where were we here? X7 we were talking about, weren't we? Let's catch up on the chat here. Oh, Carl's my old player, Odie said. Odie, we'll have to play a game on the Esports News UK stream each week. Which player isn't a former player of Odie, right? Because at this point there seems to be so many that have. Phosphorescent, how's it going? Good to see you in the chat. Pac wasn't around this time, Saj. Crazy says we've lost a realist of an esports personality, 100%. Yeah, I'm good, thanks, Tom. I'm good, thank you. Harry, that's it. Yeah, a lot more where that came from. Don Jake says X7 chomping up another org. I know it's been 3 now, hasn't it? 3. Where's Don Jake for this topic? Okay, yeah, cheers, Tom. Thank you. Yeah, let's have a look at this then. So X7 have bought another org. I mean, London Esports as well. I've been impressed with London Esports over the past few years. I think they've done some good things. I think they're a nice bunch of people. They've done some interesting partnerships. They had this UK Esports first CBD partnership, didn't they? Now they also had a partnership with is it Here East in London, Stratford, where they have their training facilities. I've written it in here somewhere. Yeah, Queen Elizabeth Olympic Park at Here East. There we go. So X7 will now take ownership of the London Esports office at the Here East Tech Campus, and yet another one. And the CEO of London Esports, Alfie Wright, has been named X7's new Chief Operating Officer, and existing COO Nudo at X7 has moved into a different, not yet announced role. So we'll see what's happening there. But yeah, this comes after X7 acquired Bulldog, another sort of grassroots UK org, last September, and absolved in October. So they bought Bulldog in September, and then when they bought absolved a few months later, I did an opinion piece on it here. Are X7 the next powerhouse in UK League of Legends, because they're just buying everything now. So yeah, I was thinking of doing a meme actually on this, but there's been enough memes, hasn't there? There's been the Thanos memes. People saying Josh, the founder of X7, is like Thanos, just buying everything, clicking his fingers and making other orgs disappear. Yeah, I mean, one of the main parts of the deals, it looks like we'll be moving into new esports, and this partnership brings in experts in games we're less familiar with. Right, so Alfie Wright at London Esports, they've done stuff in CSGO, haven't they, and other games that X7 aren't in over the years. I remember they were in CSGO. I can't remember how often they've been in, how successful they've been. But yeah, another one. What are your thoughts, everyone? What do we think about this? I think, to be honest, I remember we published an old opinion piece years ago from Barrage, who are now Resolve, and Jeff, when he was at Barrage, he said to me, I think, UK sports orgs, we need to merge and we need to grow and be stronger together, and that's the way forward, and we're sort of seeing it happen now, I think. Crazy says, I think they did it for the Here East venue. Okay. Don Jake says, but you don't inherit a brand. Yeah, that's true. Well, you just take you take it, don't you? And you take the staff and then kill that brand. So yeah, what's that London Esports thing doing now then? Does it still exist? Yeah, it still exists, but they've probably got their end of London Esports and next steps. So yeah, they've kept the stuff. Oh wow, their last tweets were March 22nd, unless they've deleted some. Oh yeah, Alfie said we've been very quiet on London Esports socials over the past few months, and that wasn't by accident. Time to move on. Tough call to make. Thankful to every person who's contributed their time and resources to help us get this far. This won't be the end for me within esports. Yeah, so he's at X7 now. I mean, they've got a lot of staff, haven't they, at X7? They've got a lot of staff there now, and they do. And listen, don't forget as well, when I interviewed X7, I didn't interview X7. Will Busfield did this for us. We asked Josh, the founder and CEO, what's your vision? And he said, I want to get X7 to the LEC. Without being naive and hasty, we want to ensure that all the infrastructure is in place so that we don't get to the LEC and crash and burn. And I've asked, how do you plan to get to the LEC? And he said, we'll bide our time until the opportunity presents itself, right, where a franchise becomes available. So they're serious here. That's an awful lot of money, isn't it, buying in? Who is it? Astralis, I think, have been rumoured. Someone, I don't know how, I can't verify this rumour, but there was a rumour saying that Astralis are thinking of selling their spot. I think it was Esports Monaco's. What's it here? Yeah, they want to sell their LEC spot for $40 to $50 million, apparently. This is according to Esports Monaco's Eros. And then Jackson did an article on it as well. I mean, this is all speculative stuff, isn't it? This is just speculative. Where was I going with this? What was I talking about? Oh yeah, X7. You know, so they're going to need a lot of money, aren't they, if they want to get to the LEC? And then they're going to be competing with orgs like Carmine Corp, who no doubt will want to get to the LEC and Koi and teams like that. So I mean, that's a massive goal, isn't it? That is a massive goal. And yes, there are rumours the LEC may be expanding next year to 12 or even 14 teams. And LEC have said that. They said something like when it goes up to 12 teams. So I mean, Odie will probably know more than me here, but probably won't be able to say anything in the chat. Odie says I should do masterclasses on what to do. How much can I charge? Yeah, 100%. Yeah, you want to do? Oh, we could do some kind of consultancy through me, Odie, if you want. Reach all the UK orgs. Happily have a chat with you about that. Crazy says we've had too many orgs merge recently. Coalesce, yeah, all that stuff. John Jake says charge what you want, mate. Everyone's fucking clueless. Much like Niche, you can capitalise on pure stupidity. Oh dear. And yeah, there are a lot of agencies in esports, aren't there? There are still a lot out there. So it's the growth thing. I see agencies cropping up all the time. Consultancy, coaching, influencer agencies, all that stuff. This isn't UK, but I do think this is quite fun. Actually, I'm going to bring this up here. I might enter this. What do you guys think? I might enter this clutch competition for Esports News UK. Now, Esports Insider do this every year, and it's a pitch investment competition. So you have 5 minutes to pitch your business idea to a group of investors, and then the judges pick the winner. And this year they've got $25,000 in prizing. Third place gets $3,000, second place $7,000, first place $15,000. I mean, even if I took third or second, would be big for me. I'd probably use that not to pay my bills, but to bring on board like a social video community manager or something like that, or even a part-time reporter or something. So yeah, I'm tempted to do this, to be honest. I know I'm just a new site and I'm not an amazing new fresh business idea, but I do think we've got a niche, and I don't focus on reaching investors enough. I'm just doing all content and I don't bother reaching out to investors, and I should do that a bit more. So that's happening late this year, September 5th to 7th. I mean, yeah, it says startups. The only thing is that you need to be someone that where is it here? I think you can't have had stage one funding yet or something. Where is it here? I put this. I've written this article. Oh, here it goes. Yeah, how to apply. Here we go. Yeah, it's open to startup companies who are prior to or in their first seed round, and their product or offering must directly relate to the esports space. So, I mean, that could include team organisations, can't it, really? To me, that can include them. If they're a startup, they haven't got funding elsewhere. So maybe some of you guys can enter that, maybe. A League of Legends esports manager is entering open beta in China in July. The reason I want to talk about this, just because I did an article a couple of years ago on this esports management game, on UK coaches reacting to the game. Officer Naughty from Eminem says, "Welcome to hell. I wonder how realistic this game will be. Last minute poaching from orgs, false promises and contract prisons, sponsors dropping out last minute. I cannot wait for this one." Joel from XL, when he's back with XL, "Cannot wait to see how they integrate bullying, internet and flight cancelling thunderstorms into this." Phil McCartney of Enclave said, "I can't wait for players to fail their toxicity checks just before the season starts. Super realistic stuff." So yeah, a lot of British moaning going on from like some of the UK coaches here that I found pretty funny. So yeah, I wanted to mention that again. And let's go into some of the other stories we've got. We've spoken about Moist. To be honest, some of these Fnatic have returned to Apex Legends with Japan-based team. We've got Rick's GG's parent company have begun trading shares on a Canadian stock exchange. Riot fixed the Valorant coach bug, where some of the UK coaches were talking about that. I Am Cologne, we've got a bunch of UK talent here. Tom, if you're still in the chat, I mean, you probably already know about this or interested. We've got quite a few UK talent here. James Banks, Freya, Hugo Byron, Dinko, Hawker, Eternal J, Just Harry, Machine, Pala, like lots of UK talent. Veracity, sorry, as well, I should say, and OJ Borg. So yeah, Shocks is on there as well. We're gonna see Shocks and James Banks again, side by side. So that'll be good. And we'll talk about this Commonwealth stuff here in the guild. We've done the Don Jake thing. Greek God X was banned on Twitch. I won't go into that because it's not esportsy news, more for googly news. We've spoken about Trackmania stuff. Commonwealth Esports Championship players are going to train and play in qualifiers at Nottingham's Confetti Institute. I was there the other day for this Esports and Education Summit, which was pretty good. I've got an interview coming up with Global Esports to find out more about them. But yeah, these Commonwealth Esports Championships are approaching, aren't they? We're 1 month away now in Birmingham. They're in PES football, Dota 2 and Rocket League. I think it is Rocket League, isn't it? So yeah, we've got Esports England players, there's Esports Scotland, there's his home nations and different nations. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Confetti, shout out to Confetti, and some of their students have like helped us with our broadcasts, with our streams, which has been great. And then yeah, I'll just chat through these last two stories. Again, another startup here, Grid Finder, a Newcastle-based sim racing esports platform, has raised 6 figures in investment, 200 grand they've raised, and it's a community platform. It helps sim racers find racing and helps esports community managers manage their race calendars, results, standards, communications and more. So it sounds like it's sort of like a one-stop shop platform for people in the sim racing world, and it could be a little UK sports success story. So I like covering stuff like this when I get these kind of press releases. And then the other one, the guild stuff. I forgot. Should we talk about the guild stuff here? Oh yeah, Odie. Sorry, I forgot. Yes, you do have your own agency, Model East. But I remember that when you had before you moved to Rec Global. I remember you changed your email, didn't you? Guild Esports. I mean, this got a lot of people talking. Let's bring up the tweet I did and Adam Fitch's tweet as well. I knew Adam would probably cover this because he's they do interesting financials, right? And he does his business stuff. Let's find this guild tweet I did here. Where was it here? I think it was Thursday. Here we go. And we'll bring up Adam Fitch's one as well because his one got quite a bit of comments on it as well. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so Guild have announced job cuts and a £5 million loss in latest financial update as staff move into new London office. Now, I've put job cuts. You can argue against the semantics of that because in Guild's financials, this is for their first half. This is for the first half of 2022 financials, right? It's the 6 months to March 31st, 2022. And what have they put here? They put right sizing. I mean, right sizing is, restructuring or changing the number of staff you have. But to me, it's job cuts because they had 45, right? And they have an average of 45 staff at the end of March to 30 at present. To me, that's job cuts. Whether some of those people left the company or not, the Guild have decided not to hire replacements for them. So they've cut the jobs from average of 45 to 30, right? And that's quite a big cut, I think, there. Made a £4.96 million loss before tax during the period. It's not surprising, is it? It's hard as an esports organisation to make money, especially when you're throwing a lot of money at players and streamers and all of that stuff. And Guild said it was the job cuts were as a result of growing economic uncertainty and challenging market conditions. Significant action was taken in the first half of the financial year in 2022 to streamline the company's cost base. These measures include a rationalisation of suppliers and right-sizing staff numbers. Corporate speak. But revenues rose 195% to just over £1 million. So, and they've got their big sort of sponsors on board, haven't they? This £4.5 million 3-year deal with Bitstamp. They've got their Subway deal, Samsung, HyperX. Staff have just moved into a new office. June 30th, so a couple of days ago. This is in Shoreditch near the Fnatic one and the XL Esports one. They've won a few things recently. I mean, this is linking to old news. We've kind of done this. They left Apex Legends the other day as Fnatic have re-entered it. They said Apex did not offer sufficiently attractive commercial options at present. And there's other stuff here. They said their audience in the period peaked at 22 million. And also this one here. So I didn't know who this David Gardner guy is here. He's non-executive director. He stepped down as non-exec director from the guild board. Now, this we'll come on to the Fitch thing in a second. This person here, I saw an article on another, here we go. This is money.co.uk, which I think is owned by the Daily Mail, I think. Said, Guild Esports investors spooked as David Beckham's agent steps down from the board. I didn't realise when they put this in his, I should have Googled this guy. I should have looked at who this was, this non-executive director, because this is Money, have done an article on it here. He's one of David Beckham's closest business associates who's left the board at Guild. He's a sports agent who looks after Beckham's business ventures. Stepped down with immediate effect from Guild to pursue other interest. His departure spooked investors with the shares tumbling 15% or 24p to 1.35 pence. I mean, it's, I've yet to see amazing share prices from esports organisations, to be honest. This doesn't surprise me. Beckham owns a 4.7% stake in Guild, and we all know, right, he's been paid whatever it is, 20 million over, I can't remember what it is, 5 years or something like that, rights, and, you know, they can say he's with the team and blah, blah, blah. Gardner is a long-time friend of Beckham and is a godfather to Beckham's eldest son, Brooklyn. So he's left the Guild board. I didn't even know he was on, I didn't even know, right? I should probably look into who these all these board members are. Now, I said to someone the other day, can't remember who I was talking to, but I said Guild really reminds me of Gfinity because they're very focused on the finance side of things, or at least what Gfinity was when it was set up, you know, years ago. You know, they like the coverage in Financial Times and financial publications. They're, you know, looking to build a business. They've both got share prices, right? Gfinity and Guild, they're both on stock markets. They both have the financial open public reports, and their style seems to be very similar, Guild and Gfinity. I see a lot of similarities between the two of them, and the share prices that aren't super impressive. So we'll have to see where things go. But in the meantime, it does make for pretty fascinating reading. The fact that they're so open, because they have to be, because they're publicly listed, right, with stocks and shares. Yeah, let's look here, because I had a few quote tweets on this. People quote tweeting my article saying, Jonas has said fraud from day one. It's not surprised it's going down the drain. Sad for the staff. Stuff like this makes me, Name Potato Land says, stuff like this makes me anxious about my future. Will I ever be able to pay my rent working in esports? Josh Raven, shout out to Josh, who's done some journalism stuff in the past and does content and marketing now. I forgot to say actually in my article here, Guild said they've got more than 30 prospective sponsorship deals in the works. Right, prospective means there might be, you know, there might be potential sponsorship deals, and people have criticised this, saying, well, they've just spent out 30 sponsorship decks, right? This, what Josh said here, is translated to, we've exchanged an email to with 30 companies. If that's the metric, then I have about 60 prospective clients in the pipeline. Business is looking good. Desert Chew from Rainbow Six Siege UK caster says, I don't want to rag on an esports org doing good things and or trying to make things work, but I think most saw this coming from day one. This money furnace model might work in tech where secure recurring revenues show a path to profitability, but esports is so risky still, and I completely agree. And also, Derry will know about this stuff because he has his own business as well outside of esports. Here we go. He's a CEO of One Up Sales, management and motivation platform for the modern sales team. So, yes. Stress Caster said, a reminder that almost no team is making money in esports, and Guild are in the minority of teams actually having to post their financials publicly. Yes. Also, to translate, more than 30 prospective sponsorships in the works likely means they've had initial meetings or sent a pitch deck. 100%. Yeah. Merchant said, people slowly realising esports is not a valid industry in its current form when people inside it have known that for like 8+ years is wild. Yeah, they got a lot of people talking, didn't it? And let's have a look at Fitchy's one here as well, because he's got a lot of likes and he's got a similar amount of quote tweets as well. Guild posted a loss of $6 million for 6-month period. Org has gone from 45 to 30 staff. I haven't been reading in chat here, have I? Sneaky Beaky says, Guild seems like a bit of a shambles if I'm honest. Bleeding money and aren't very outstanding in anything. Yeah. But they have won a few things. I do like some of it. I like what they're trying to do with their academy. But I just question how many people want to buy that kind of stuff, you know, pay whatever it is, £5 a month for stuff like that. That's a little bit moist. I've just seen the moist esports chant is trending here. Let's get wet. But yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, so again, people quote tweeting here, got treated worse than at Direwolf, somehow love esports. For the people wondering why Guild won't get into franchising. Where's all that money gone? Looking at Guild's partnership proposal. That's George Geddes. Yeah, people saying why they're not going to make it into franchising, that kind of thing. There's other stuff, right, on my list and things like that. There's other things I can talk about, but I think this stream is... oh, God, I didn't have this up. How long have I been doing that for? God damn it. How long have I been talking about Guild without having this up here? Bloody hell. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I think I've been chatting for a while here, haven't I? So I'll probably call that a night, I think. Yes. Thank you for watching, everyone. I hope you have a good week. It's very late on a Sunday. I'm surprised the viewers usually want to do Sunday streams. I don't have even fewer viewers than this. But yeah, hope you have a good week ahead. Let me know what you're doing. I've got a busy month ahead, some freelance stuff. So yes, of course, I was always doing Esports News UK, but it just means I probably won't be able to do lots of interviews or as many interviews as I usually do. And I've got a backlog, right? Tom's stuff, I need to get through that stuff. So yes, thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate it. And I will see you next time. I hope to be back with like interview streams and stuff like that. I'll keep you all posted. But for now, yes, have a good night, have a good sleep, and see you soon.